Fuck Dallas. Dallas go home. You already know what time of year it is. You already know what time of year it is. I don't even know why we're talking about this. Dallas playoffs home. Playoffs? Dallas home. Fuck that.
My bad. All right. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. This is another episode of PPP D Pigskin Posse Podcast. I got my dog Ryan with me. What's going on, Ryan, bro?
What's up with you?
Hey, same old, man. As always, we thank y'all for tuning in to another episode. And we gotta open up with the madness that's been going on in the fucking college football world because teams is leaving their fucking divisions. So Colorado just got accepted to the Big 12. As much as they fucking talk about how bad the Big 12 is, how much they talk about how bad the Big 12 is, what do you make of this move? Like, what do you think the future holds for Colorado University?
The Big 12 actually had a great year last year, and it didn't involve OU or Texas.
You ain't lying. You really ain't lying.
So, I mean, it's great for them. It gives them strength. Then you look at the Big Ten, they trying to get Oregon and Washington on top of already having USC and UCLA coming.
Right.
So then you got Florida State. They looking at how much money Washington, Oregon, USC, and UCLA will be getting with the Big Ten revenue split. 60 million. We're only getting $30 million.
Right.
This is not going to work. This is not going to work being ACC football. Right. So it's a crazy time. What I feel like is eventually going to happen is it's probably only going to be like two conferences.
That's what I've been thinking this whole time. Like, it seems to me like what the NCAA is trying to do, especially with all this NIL shit going on, it seems to me like they're trying to create two super conferences. I personally, I don't love it. I hate it. I hate it because it keeps diversity. Each division, we've known each division has a certain style of football that they play. When you go to the Pac-12, you get, of course, they run a lot of the West Coast out there. When you come to the Big 12, they say they don't really play a lot of defense in the Big 12, which was kind of bullshit. If you watch the Big 12, they really do. They don't get the top defensive recruits. When you come to the Big 10, I mean, the Big 10 is predominantly a defensive conference. I mean, you got juggernauts like Ohio State and Michigan that do well on both sides of the ball. But when you want good defensive players in the draft, most of the time you go to the Big 10. And the SEC itself has always been a football factory. You got defense and offense. And you got conferences like the WAC, the Mountain West, the Big East or whatever. Those conferences, I mean, they put on they get high scoring games and stuff like that, but they're not the premier conferences. So it's a lot of diversity in college football. I get it. The bigger programs, the what you call it, the
Power 5.
Yeah, the Power 5, the elite programs, of course, they get all the exposure, but I hate this super conference shit. I hate this. I feel like a lot of it, the NIL shit has a lot to do with it, but hey, what do I know? I mean,
I think that too. I think what's going to slow all the super conference down stuff, at least for the next couple of years, is USC already said if they come, we're not coming because you're messing with our recruiting home base.
Yeah.
Because now kids that want to play for the West Coast schools are going to be playing a different conference. But if you got Washington and Oregon, they don't feel like they have to stay in the Pac, whatever it's going to be. I mean, what this is doing is destroying the Pac-12, so it'll be a Power 4.
Yeah.
I mean, Big 12 is getting schools, Big 10 is getting schools, SEC is getting schools. It might just be the big three. ACC might start to crumble, but they have a lot of schools already. And then when you got household names like Duke, North Carolina, Florida State,
Florida State.
Miami, I don't think that's going to hurt. Well, in terms of basketball, if we're talking about college football, that's a bit of a difference. I guess you could still throw out Clemson out there and things of that nature, but um, it's an interesting turn. I think maybe the format of the playoff is going to kind of calm everything down.
Yeah, yeah.
Once they're able to give each conference more revenue for the playoff money they would get, I feel like it'll give everybody a chance to get more playoff money.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at a lot of the, these big rival games, as much money as they generate, I mean, fucking Oklahoma and Texas itself is what, about $500 million fucking game every year.
Yeah, it's a lot of
So
money.
yeah, so it's like, I mean, I really don't see I really don't get why they're throwing fucking like why they keep throwing revenue around, because a lot of these, I mean, it ain't like the kids are seeing any of this fucking money. So that's another reason why I say I definitely feel like this NIL shit has a lot to do with it. But like I said, I don't sit on the fucking the college football board, the CFP board. So I'm just giving my opinion. I think this shit is fucking stupid.
I don't like it.
I hate it.
I mean, I get it. They're doing it for money, but it's not I don't think it's the best thing right now for the sport. So. Well, we'll just have to see. I think the playoffs gonna slow it. I think the playoffs gonna slow everything down.
Which I'm really excited for that, because they're giving more teams a
12
chance to
teams.
they're giving more teams to get a chance to get into the the national championship and the Final Four or whatever in college football. So it's exciting. It's exciting. All right. So we got today I gotta do the bird man, rub my hands together, because we got we're talking about two of the most interesting, most intriguing divisions today. We're talking about both East conferences. We got the NFC East and the AFC East. We gonna start it off with the NFC East, because you know where I'm going with this, don't you? You know where I'm going with this, don't you? What team is in the NFC East? We gonna get.
Yep.
Yep. But we're gonna start off with the last year's Super Bowl runner-up, Philadelphia Eagles. Of course, they finished last year 14-3. They were with them winning the Super Bowl. They were a very active team this offseason. Some key additions. They went out to get tight end Dan Arnold to go alongside the other side of Zach Ertz. They get linebacker Terrell Edmonds. They get running back Rashad Penny, cornerback Greedy Williams, wide receiver Olamide Zaccheaus, wide receiver, linebacker out of college from Georgia, Nolan Smith, and running back DeAndre Swift from the Detroit Lions. Some key departures: they lose linebacker TJ Edwards, they lose safety Marcus Epps, they lose defensive tackle Javon Hargrave, they lose cornerback CJ Gardner-Johnson, they lose backup quarterback Gardner Minshew, wide receiver Zach Pascal, running back Miles Sanders, guard Isaac Suomalo, and linebacker Kazir White. I'm gonna let you attack this one first, bro. What do you think is gonna be the Eagles' ceiling this year?
Themselves. I mean, that and injury. They obviously was the best team in the NFC last year on paper and on the field. On paper this year, they look like they have everything that they need to be more successful and hopefully get back to the Super Bowl and win. It's going to come down to a change of, I'm not going to say a change of play calling, but implementing new things within the system. The play calling is going to come down to Jalen Hurts' play. And it's going to come down to their offensive line, the running game, because they got the receivers. It's just going to come down, can the offensive line be as dominant as it once was a year ago? And can the running backs still get the same production with their rushing as well as Jalen's rushing? So I expect the Eagles to, if not win the NFC East, make a serious run for an NFC Championship game and a possible Super Bowl berth.
I agree. I do. I do expect them to take a little bit of a backseat. I don't expect them to go undefeated for as long as they did. I definitely think they're gonna win NFC East. I like another addition was Jalen Carter, which I love. I love him and what's the other dude? Jordan Davis. I love them two on the offensive line. I'm sorry, but I don't think very many people are going to be running the ball on this team. You know, they went out to get they also drafted linebacker Nolan Smith out of Georgia. I think they recognized what the issue was last year. It was the run defense. I mean, it wasn't necessarily an issue, but they were, for as good as that defense was, they were middle of the pack in the run defense. So I think, you know, they definitely addressed that. And they went out and got I love the DeAndre Swift trade because they got him for cheap. They didn't really have to give up anything to get him. I do
devalued possession.
yeah. Say that shit again. I do think he's a tad bit better than Miles Sanders when healthy. I think Miles Sanders, like, you know what they say, the best ability is reliability. And Miles Sanders was a little more reliable, has been a little more reliable than DeAndre Swift has been the last couple of years because DeAndre Swift can never tend to stay healthy. But I definitely think, you know, DeAndre Swift being in a much better position, being with a better organization, a winning team, I think that'd be good for him because he doesn't have to do so much. Like he's not on a team that they need to depend on him. But yeah, I mean, and we know, you know, getting as big of football fans we are, we know going to the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl back to back, and going back to the Super Bowl for a second, that's just hard. That's just you gotta count on every fucking body staying healthy. You gotta count on everybody meshing, and you know most of the a lot of guys coming back. You know they lost quite a bit of positions, but I think they filled them correctly. But you just gotta hope that. Not to mention, they did lose a defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon, and they lost offensive coordinator, Shane Steichen. So we really don't know what kind of offense they're going to run. Don't know what the defense is going to look like. So
they didn't even win the Super Bowl and they lost them coaches.
Right. So that's another reason why I say, like, you know, it's just I think they're going to take a step back, but they should be the favorite. They should be the favorite to come out and win the NFC East right off the bat. I don't know, man. I don't know.
You
saying it's a lot of.
So you saying out of the last 26 years, you saying they're gonna be the first team to repeat as NFC East champions?
I think so. I definitely think so. They got a chance. They got a real chance.
Well, okay. One thing I know, you can bet on that last statement.
Yeah.
Repeat. I don't know. It's been 26 years. I'm not sure. But I mean, if only other team they really got to worry about is Dallas, and you know, I don't like their quarterback, so
we're gonna get to them in a minute too.
I don't think New York could. Washington might be the team you need to watch this year. I don't know.
We'll see. Might be, but with the Eagles, is just I think the biggest question is the court. Like, there's a lot of unanswered questions, which you lose your offensive and your defensive coordinator. So everything you did last year is gonna look different. Everything you're gonna do this year is gonna look completely different from what you did last year. I don't think the offense is gonna look that much different. I think they're gonna stick to, I think Jalen's gonna be Jalen. I think the offense is gonna be just fine. Just I wonder what the defense is gonna look like. So, the sky's the limit.
I mean, I still trust their front seven. So
for sure, I probably trust him even more this year with Jalen Carter, and with Nolan Smith. I can say that much. And then they got Terrell Edmonds at linebacker. Jeez, yeah,
going to be nasty.
It's gonna be a good year. Next up, we got America's team, as Ryan calls
Patriots.
I mean, they could have been. They were America's team, seemed like for the last 20 years. But as Ryan calls them, the 12-5 cowpokes. I'm sorry, the cowgirl. I'm sorry,
the cow bitches. There we go.
As my pops would say, them goddamn cowboys. Fuck them goddamn cowboys. But yes, next up we do have the Dallas Cowboys. Some key additions. They lose Stephon Gilmore. They get Stephon Gilmore in the trade with the Indianapolis Colts. They get Brandon Cooks. They get Trent Sieg at offensive line. They get Ronald Jones at running back, and they get Brian Schottenheimer as the offensive coordinator as they move on from Kellen Moore, which we're gonna talk about that in a minute. Key departures. I don't know if you can call it. I think the only key departure was Connor McGovern on their offensive line, tight end Dalton Schultz, and wide receiver Noah Brown. Now, before we talk about anything else, I want to go back to this offensive coordinator change. You fired Kellen Moore, and the offense was the offense failing last year. Wasn't Kellen Moore's fault. It wasn't Kellen Moore's fault. When your fucking quarterback throws more interceptions than he has starts, then whose fucking fault is that? Just saying. Now, I do like Brian Schottenheimer as the offensive coordinator. He is proven. He has head coaching experience. He did spend a couple years in Seattle when he was another guy that was there when Russ was lighting the fucking league on fire. But before I say anything else, I always love when you talk about the Cowboys. So I'm gonna let you attack this one, bro. How do you feel about Dallas this year?
I don't. They gonna
be good.
I mean, like, they came out with a good defense 2 years in a row. I must admit that. But Dak, you coming out. I'm not gonna throw more than 10 interceptions this year. And then the next day you say that you threw like 2 or 3 picks in practice.
Practice, man. We talking about practice. Practice.
Oh my God! And then now you got your soon-to-be $100 million man, Trayvon Diggs, calling you a bitch ass nigga. Oh, he already got paid.
Yeah, he got paid. I think 5 years, 96 mil. 4 or 5 years, 96 mil. So yeah, they did pay him. And he had well deserved. He had a good season last season.
And you got your players calling you bitch ass niggas. I mean, I get it as practice, but I mean, like, Dallas would probably go 12-5, 13-14, 10-7, 11-6. First round, second round, ass whooping. I mean, I don't like their wide receiver room. Brandon Cooks doesn't stay healthy. Gallup doesn't stay healthy. So you really didn't go out. I mean, I thought this would have been the perfect time to get DeAndre. You could have threw him 2 years, $20 million, $5 million less than what he signed for in Tennessee. Right. I don't know. Their offensive line got old. Pollard's finna get broke the fuck up. If he makes it through this year, he ain't making it through next year. You need to re-sign Zeke, but you didn't piss him off. I don't really see this team doing much of anything. They'll just, be at home come February. January, I'm sorry.
January. Yeah, you got it right, January. They're gonna be home January and February. Mm-hmm. But so I see Dallas being a little bit better than they were last year, only because let me justify. Only because I think Dak will be. I don't think he's gonna miss the first 4 or 5 games. I don't. I think he'll be there to play. I do like this. I do like the wide receiver room. I do like the wide receiver room. I'm not confident. I'm not willing to put them up there with the top. The top 5 wide receiver.
Gallup will be on IR by week 4.
Yeah, but I do like Brandon Cooks. I mean, if you before
week 8, week 9, he always get hurt when you don't need to get hurt.
Yeah, but I mean, he's a reliable wide receiver. I know I'm forgetting about last year because he was in Houston. Houston was just a fucking mess. They even said they was gonna fucking trade him and decided not to at the trade deadline. So I'm not faulting him for last year. Houston was an absolute fucking train wreck. Okay. But yeah, I mean, years before that, he did manage to string together 6,000 or 7,000 yard seasons. I mean, he's a burner on the outside too. He has speed, and CD had a better year than CD had a much better year than expected last year. I think the X factor here is the running back position, because they are very thin at the running back position. At this point, you're gonna have to re-sign Zeke, or you're gonna have to stick with starting little Deuce Vaughn, which I actually like. I like Deuce Vaughn. He reminds me a lot of Darren Sproles. He's gonna be a utility player. But with Dallas,
I'm sorry. I don't usually wish for people. I'm not wishing for him to get hurt, but I would love it if one of you linebackers just smack the shit out of him,
for
smack the snot, knock his mouthpiece out, go to 3 commercials where they scoop him off the field. Fuck this nigga up, please. And then I could have sworn his cousin or somebody was playing that basketball in the tournament. I'm like, that didn't got the same motherfucker again.
Mm-hmm.
He just shoot hoops. It probably was him. he probably got a wig on or something.
Wouldn't surprise me. That motherfucker went out there and put on the James Harden, except he put on the buff suit. And for those of y'all that don't know, Ryan, I love you to death. I don't like bringing up old shit. But Ryan hates Deuce Vaughn because he's killed Oklahoma the last couple years that they played. So yeah, the last 4 years that they played. Every time whenever Deuce Vaughn was playing for Kansas State and Oklahoma had to deal with him, he just, I don't know what he always torched Oklahoma's
240
defense.
yards, 8 catches, something crazy like that, 90 yards. Like, this nigga got like damn near 400 yards of offense by himself.
Pretty much. But yeah, man, I see Dallas doing the same thing they have the last couple years, making the playoffs and finding a new way to fucking lose. Like they have been. Hold on. I'm calling it now. Last play of the game. I'm predicting it now. Last play of the game. Dak drops back. Halfback pass. Picked off. Pick 6.
Tony Romo.
He's at the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown. 13 seconds left. That is Dallas's future. So all you Dallas fans, get ready to do the same thing you have been doing the last couple of years to get disappointed. Okay. I don't look, y'all make the playoffs, but that's the extent of that. You ain't doing shit after that.
I mean, Miami making the playoffs last year and going home, they can say, well, at least we made the playoffs.
Well, their situation was a little different, which we gonna get to them a little later. Moving on, next up we have the Giants. 9-7 Giants finished, the New York Giants finished 9-7-1 last year. Some key additions was Darren Waller at tight end, safety Bobby McCain, wide receiver Paris Campbell, linebacker Bobby Okereke, defensive lineman Raheem Roquez, offensive lineman J.C. Hassenauer, and wide receiver Jamison Crowder. Some key departures was Kenny Golladay, which I don't even think you can call him a key departure because that motherfucker didn't even play. I forgot he was even in New York. But yeah, key departures: Kenny Golladay at wide receiver Richie James, safety Julian Love, defensive lineman Nick Williams, offensive lineman Nick Gates, and offensive lineman John Feliciano. I'm gonna attack this one first. I see a regression for the Giants. First off, Saquon's pissed, so don't be surprised. I mean, yeah, I don't get that. I really don't get that. You signed pretty much the same contract they offered you because they offered you $2 million in guaranteed money. That's fucking stupid. This contract that Saquon signed to me is another prove it. They put him on another prove it deal. Prove you can go out and do the same thing and stay healthy while doing it. But nobody saw them doing what the fuck they did last year. I don't know who the fuck is in their wide receiver room. Can Saquon stay healthy? And can Daniel Jones have a repeat year of what the fuck he did last year? Because I didn't expect him to play the way that he did.
Saquon's on the field.
Yeah, but I think they're gonna regret giving him that contract because I don't think he's worth that. I would have gave that to Saquon to somebody else. But nothing about this team screams playoffs to me again. It really don't. I mean, the defense played well last year. That's about it. But I don't see them having the same type of success that they did last year. I really don't.
Well, Saquon is worth that money.
Saquon is.
He's not worth a long-term contract. But truth, right now he has to go prove it. What truth be told is, if you look at Daniel Jones's number when Saquon is on the field, they're better. The win losses is better. When he's not on the field, he looks like Mark Bolger. I mean, it reflects in the record and the stat line. So they need to, first of all, they need Saquon to have a good year because he was like the engine that got the shit going for them last year. So if he has another successful year, I anticipate them with a winning record. They may not maybe make the playoffs because there's only so many spots to get in. But I don't know. I don't hell. This is a proven year for Daniel Jones. I mean,
another proven year. Like we gave you the money. We gave you the money to go out there and show us that you worked what the fuck we paid you.
So I don't know. My hands is up. I don't know how to judge this team because I can't call it right now. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait to about week 6 and have a better idea.
They are the Giants are definitely an anomaly. So I don't really know what to make of this team. I don't know. I don't think they make the playoffs. I don't think they sneak into a wild card spot like they did last year. I just don't. I don't see it. I can't see it. It's the Giants, man. We don't know what the fuck. We never know what the fuck we're gonna get with this goddamn team.
Eli's not there anymore. Still feel weird to me.
True. Next up, we have the Washington Commanders. I don't know what the fuck.
Shout out my main man Magic Johnson. You feel me?
Yeah. Minority owner.
Go ahead, brother.
Go ahead. The Washington. I don't know the football team, the Commanders. I don't know what the fuck to call them at this point because they talking about changing the name again. I mean, I'm happy for them that they got that Dan Snyder's gone and he has nothing else to do with that organization. So maybe they will, make a turn in the right direction. But they actually made some pretty decent additions in the offseason. Some key additions, offensive. Of course, they went out and got offensive coordinator Eric B. Before I let you attack, after I do all this, I want to attack this shit first. But some key additions on the offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy, who was and has been Kansas City's offensive coordinator the last few years. Linebacker David Mayo, quarterback Cam Dantzler, linebacker Nick Barton, offensive lineman Nick Gates, QB Jacoby Brissett, offensive lineman Nick Scott, and offensive lineman Trenton Scott, and offensive lineman Andrew Wiley, who also formerly played for the Chiefs. Some key departures, they lose running back J.D. McKissick, QB Taylor Heineke, and linebacker Cole Holcomb, and offensive lineman Wes Martin. Now, personally, I want to say this. These NFL teams are full of shit. I hate this. I hate this for Eric B. I hate this shit. I hate this shit for Eric B.
What the fuck did you give him to work?
So this is what. Here's what I'm making of this whole Eric Bieniemy situation. We understand you're proven because we saw what you're able to do with Pat Mahomes, but we still don't think you're worthy enough for a head coaching job. So in order for you to maybe get considered for a head coaching job, go up to fucking Washington, that's in shambles right now, and do the same thing you did with Pat Mahomes with this Sam Howell motherfucker. And go play for a head coach that's probably on his fucking, if he has a bad year this year, that's probably on his fucking way out. Now, I also don't like the fact that if Washington doesn't succeed this year, they're going to do everything they can to place a lot of the blame on fucking Eric Bieniemy. It's going to be, see, I told you he wasn't worth the head coaching job. He can't do with the Chiefs what he did for this team. You're setting this man on a pedestal when they don't have the caliber of quarterback in Washington that they did in Kansas City. Everybody had faith, and everybody had the faith in Patrick Mahomes. That's why the fuck they drafted him there. Everybody knew Pat Mahomes was capable of. That's why they got Alex. That's why they proceeded to move on from Alex Smith and proceed with Pat Mahomes because they already knew what they were getting into. We still don't know what the fuck we're gonna get out of Sam Howell. So once again, I hate the situation. I hate the situation for Eric Bieniemy. But go ahead, bro. My bad.
I agree with everything you just said. And the AFC East is so weird. These motherfuckers start off 7-0.
The NFC East.
Yeah, the NFC East is so weird. These motherfuckers probably start off 7-0. Chase Young. For those of you who might be familiar, he went to Ohio State. He was in that lineage of great defensive ends with the Bosa brothers and himself. They haven't really produced any of those great guys lately after that.
Not
So
yet.
anyway, he's on his last leg, or this is a proven year for him. But I have no expectations for this team whatsoever. I feel like ownership change might make a front office change, which might make a change on the field, but it has not been enough time right now at the moment to get that to come to fruition right now. So hands up again. I don't really expect them to do anything, but I don't really expect them to be bad. I don't know. They might just be middle of the pack. I mean, NFC East might have a NFC South last year kind of year
I
where
can
they
see
all
it.
fucking suck.
I can see
but
it.
but
Rooting really for the Cowboys to be bad.
I'm not really rooting for them to be bad. I just don't expect them to do shit when they need to do it.
I can't stand the Cowboys, so I wouldn't give. I'd fuck them. Fuck
I
them.
mean,
I've learned my lesson year in and year out. I've rooted for them to get past the first round the last couple of years, and they've made me look bad both times. So fuck them.
trying watching Dallas the last 13, 15 years, watching them do the same shit. That's literally the same team, just, minus the same names. Dak Prescott is Tony Romo. CD Lamb is turning into Terrell Owens. That nigga's gotten extremely cocky. I mean, I guess you kind of got to be cocky to go out there and play the position, but just play football, man. But
Yeah.
going back to the Commanders, they're about to have another name change. So I don't know. They'll probably hopefully they pick a cooler name, and that's what gets them going. But for right now, I have no expectations.
I think that's the only thing you can look forward to for this team is like them picking a cool name. At this point, I feel like they're next year is obviously going to be tank for Caleb. I think that's every team that has QB issues or is looking for a QB. It's tank for Caleb.
No, that'd be crazy. He go back home and play quarterback for the hometown team.
Yeah, it would be. I think a lot of people would love to see that, but I don't think they're going to be completely terrible because their defense is out. Their defense has been pretty competitive the last couple of years. So I don't think they're going to be completely horrible. I think I'm one of very few people that I'm not going to say he's going to make the Pro Bowl or nothing like that, but I think Sam Howell will be decent. And if it doesn't, and if he's not, Jacoby Brissett has always been an average QB. He'll get you 6 or 7 wins. He's not trash, but he's not great. He's not. I can't put him up there I can't even put him tier 3 or 4. He's not He's not the bottom of the bottom. Well, I can put him tier 4. I can put him tier 4. He'll get you a couple wins, but he's not going to get you to where you need to be, and that's ultimately a playoff spot.
Put him on the Raiders. Reunite with Josh McDaniels. When he's on the Patriots, usually he's looking like he could be all pro.
Yeah, but you got to think, bro. When they for one, that team won the Super Bowl that year, and the Patriots, we all know how good of a well-oiled machine the Patriots is. So I don't know if you can.
At that point, they're a dumpster fire, bro. We'll wait.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We have, honestly, in my eyes, this is the most intriguing division in football this year. We're going to cover the AFC East, where we have 3 teams. 3. It is Super Bowl or bust for all 3 teams in this division this year, and we all know which teams I'm talking about. But first up, we have the Buffalo Bills, who finished 13-3 last year and got a first-round exit in the playoffs. Some key additions in the offseason. They went and got safety Taylor Rapp. They went and got defensive end Shaq Lawson, linebacker and edge rusher Leonard Floyd, running back Latavius Murray, Dalton Kincaid. They also got Nyheim Hines. They also went out and got they got Nyheim Hines last year, so he's not a key departure, but key addition. Some key departures. They lose running back Devin Singletary, Tremaine Edmonds, wide receiver Isaiah McKenzie, and defensive back Jaquan Johnson. The Bills, it's no doubt about it. It's Super Bowl or bust for this team. If this team don't make the Super Bowl, if this team don't make the Super Bowl, I mean, Josh Allen, I feel like Josh Allen, he's gonna be, he's gonna be a superstar QB in this league for years to come. But I feel like if they don't win the Super Bowl this year, Diggs leaves. Gabriel Davis probably signs elsewhere. I mean, they
fuck around, be gone, regardless of the outcome of this.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna get to that. But this team, I feel like this team is under so much fucking pressure to the point that they're not gonna be able to perform up to standard because they know that this year is like we have to win the Super Bowl this year. So I think it's gonna. I think Super Bowl is the only thing on their mind, and because of that, that's gonna ultimately be their downfall because they're not gonna be able to focus game by game. They're already looking ahead to a fucking Super Bowl. So ultimately, I feel like that's gonna be this. I feel like this is gonna be this team's demise. They're gonna be good. I think they're gonna be good. I think they're gonna make the playoffs. But I just. Especially with all the shit that's going on between Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. And then they're bringing in this, this Dalton Kincaid kid. So there's more targets that now Josh Allen has to, sort out. You got Dalton Kincaid, you got Stephon Diggs, you got Gabriel Davis. That's 3 or 4 people that you really have to, spread the ball out to. So I feel like it's just going to cause more rift in the locker room. And hell, we can see Stephon Diggs traded before the trade deadline. So I do see Buffalo having a good season, but I don't see them having a season that they're expecting to have, and I see them getting another first round exit in the playoffs.
I mean, I want somebody to whoop the Bengals' ass in the playoffs. That's not Kansas City.
I want them to make the playoffs.
Right. It all depends on Joey. But I think they'll make the playoffs, Buffalo. They'll make the playoffs. And I think this will be the year that they learn some things and get to that AFC Championship game.
Well, I don't think that's the goal. I think Super Bowl is the goal for them. Fuck the AFC Championship game. They've been
that's the goal. They're not gonna win though. They're gonna lose to Kansas City again. But it's gonna be in the AFC Championship game at home. Yeah. So that's what I'm picking. It's my way too early prediction. It'll be Buffalo and Kansas City AFC Championship game.
Yeah,
33.
I'm not a Bucks fan. I could give a shit about the Bucks, but I have watched this team. I think it's been good for football to have a team that ain't really done shit, in its history the last like 25, 30 years to, arise. The Bills to, rise up and, overcome having to deal with the fucking Patriots for the last 20 years. So, I mean, the sky, I'm not going to say the sky's the limit for this team. For them, it's just a flat out Super Bowl or bust. If they don't make the Super Bowl, that team is going to end up getting dismantled. Diggs is definitely fucking gone. What's the name? Gabriel Davis, he might fuck around and sign elsewhere. It's just, I hate the fact that the expectation is set so high for this team, but it is what it is. They have to make a Super Bowl this year. They have to.
This team has showed too much elite talent for too long to not have any results.
Yep.
So that's why I feel like the sense of urgency is so prevalent with them. So we'll see.
We shall see. Got right around the corner. Right around the corner. Next up, we have the Miami Dolphins at 9-8. Some key additions for them. Vic Fangio takes over defensive coordinator, which I love that. They get Jalen Ramsey at cornerback, which he's probably not going to play until December. That's if he even plays this year.
They said late. Well, last I heard was late September.
Yep. No, it's December. He got a full meniscus tear. He's going to be rehabbing until they say he's not going to play until December. That's if he decides to play.
He's not playing. Okay.
They still they went out and get some insurance. They ran out and get some insurance at the backup QB position with QB Mike White after how well he played with the Jets the last few weeks of the season. They get linebacker Malik Reed. They get wide receiver Chosen Anderson, because that's what the fuck he changed his name to this offseason. They get a tight end Tyler, and they get tight end Tyler
He
Croft.
changed his name to that's his whole name.
Yeah, that's his name, Chosen. He went from Robbie Anderson to Chosen Anderson. They also signed because Jalen Ramsey got hurt, got a meniscus tear. They went out and signed Eli Apple at cornerback. Burnt chicken alert! Barbecue chicken alert! Barbecue chicken alert!
That's the best you can come up with, man. Shit, man.
Yeah, some another key departure was Byron Jones. They released Byron Jones after he failed his physical. That was their really only departure that I guess made, I'm not gonna say made sense, but that I guess really jumped out. With the Dolphins, I don't think it's Super Bowl a bust for them. I don't think it's Super Bowl a bust for them like it is for the Bills. I definitely think that I think they'll win more games than last year. I hope Tua can stay healthy. I hope he learned how to fall the fuck down and slide this offseason. But you still got them two speedsters on the fucking outside. You add a guy like Robbie or Chosen, and regardless of what you say about him, right? He can burn you. He can run some routes. So I do love the defensive coordinator Vic Fangio because the Dolphins defense was very mid last year. I hate that Jalen Ramsey got hurt because I would have loved him.
Did you see him? Did you see him last year in LA?
He didn't have a bad year. He didn't have a great year.
He didn't have a great one either.
Yeah, he didn't have a great, and a lot of that was
motherfucker was double moving him to death.
Well, a lot of it was overshadowed because the Rams had a bad year. So he didn't really get the attention that he got that Super Bowl year. But, oh, my God, I'm sorry.
I knew he was getting cooked.
I am expecting this team to make the playoffs. I'm not expecting them to go to the Super Bowl or anything like that, but I expect them to be better than they were last year. The biggest question is Tua. That's the biggest question. How healthy will Tua be and for how long? Because if he can stay upright, I mean, you got to think Tua was in the running for MVP last year before he got hurt.
We talking about like in week 6.
Yeah, I mean, boy, they were rolling last year up until that point.
Yeah, I was watching that game, bro. Mm-hmm. That motherfucker purposely slammed him on his head.
Yeah, I hate it. It was sad. That shit was hard to watch too. When he got up and is doing all this shit.
He must have been Samoan or something. The Samoans and Hawaiians are exactly the best of friends.
True, but what's your ceiling for this team this year? Like, what you think they're gonna do in this 2023 season?
I like Tua. I want to trust Tua.
Same.
Like Tua has to get like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning the last years of their career. They was just falling down. You gotta accept defeat, bro. Like, you gotta know when to run, how to run, and when to protect yourself if you're going to run. Like, there's a lot of intangibles with that. But I mean, they're returning some pieces. They added some pieces like you just mentioned. Why not? Why can't they make a run and make the playoffs again? Why not?
Yeah.
I don't see it happening, but why? I mean,
not? They got a lot of speed on that team. They got they got a loaded running back room with Mostert. I think Elijah Mitchell's there. I forgot who else is there, but they got a loaded running back room. They got a lot of speed in that wide receiver core. So it's gonna be interesting for this team. It's gonna be this you're gonna have to really keep your eye on this division this year because this is gonna be a crazy year in the AFC East.
Is Tua messaging the teams before they play like fuck y'all or something? Like why are teams so aggressive with trying to fuck him up?
Well, now they know that I feel like now that they know that he's dealing, he's had a lot of concussions. They're gonna come after his motherfucking ass. I don't think they're gonna I don't think they're. I hope they're not purposely gonna be slamming him on the ground and shit. But yeah, like it's just Tua. If I'm you, I got one word for you. This should be your only goal for the season: survive, stay healthy, stay upright, but survive.
Survive.
The word of the day: SURVIVE. Survive. And my best John Witherspoon voice. Rest in peace, John Witherspoon, man.
Survive.
Moving on to the military base that we know as the New England Patriots. Finished,
compound.
Yeah, New England Patriots finished 8-9 last year. Some key additions for them. Of course, their biggest was wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster, offensive tackle Calvin Penderson, linebacker, running back James Robinson, cornerback Miles Bryant, tight end Anthony Ferguson, and another big addition to them on the offensive side of the ball, offensive coordinator Bill O'Brien. Key departures for them: Jack Jones suspended for betting on NFL games, which I think that shit is stupid. Devin McCourty retires. Damian Harris leaves. They lose Jacoby Myers to the Oakland Raiders, and they lose Jonnu Smith at tight end.
You know what that was. Hey, I can use you in my offense. I used to coach you. Come here, Jacoby. Yep. You're fucking slow ass.
First and foremost, they got a real offensive coordinator in Bill O'Brien. We know, like, you can say what you want about him as a head coach, because I didn't agree with him being the head coach and the GM in Houston.
He hopped on the first offer he got. He wanted to get back to the NFL so bad.
Yeah.
You picked the toughest one. You'll be right back at Alabama, motherfucker. Damn. That gives me a lot of questions about Alabama now.
Yeah.
He didn't produce 2 Heisman winners.
So, and he's familiar with Mac Jones. A little bit of familiarity with Mac Jones.
He coached him that first Heisman year.
Yeah, so I don't think the Patriots are gonna finish first in the division or anything like that, because I think the Patriots way, the Patriot way is played out. I do think he's going to help Mac Jones with his development, because there's a lot of questions whether Mac Jones can be a good quarterback at this level. I think they're gonna end up passing the ball more, which is why they went out and got a guy like why they went out and got a wide receiver like Juju to help with that offense.
Bro, I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, but when you have some of the worst receivers going back to Brady's last year to now, or the last season, we have some of the worst receivers who can't get separation, who can't create space. I mean, like, you can coach a motherfucker when to break, but if he's not fast enough to create that space, what the fuck are you gonna do, man? I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Juju and all, but he really was just catching a lot of 50-50 balls at Kansas City.
If it wasn't, I mean, as a Steelers fan, I can admit, if it wasn't for Pat Mahomes, I don't think Juju would have. He'd have been a veteran presence. I don't think he would be. I still don't think he's a superstar. I can say that I still don't think he's a superstar, but he is a big name wide receiver. I do like him in Bill O'Brien's system. I can say that much. I do like him in Bill O'Brien's system. The biggest question is Mac Jones. We know the Patriots always put a stout defense out there. We know what the Patriots do on the defensive end of the ball. The offense is their biggest question. I do like Ramondre. I think he's gonna have another good season. I think he's gonna have a better season, another 1,000-yard season. So I do like Ramondre, but Mac Jones is the X factor here. Like he has to come out. He has to have a year that was better than his rookie year. So this season is fully dependent on Mac Jones.
Going back to my point, I really can't base all the blame on Mac Jones just off the simple fact that his receivers are not creating separation. I mean, damn, does every single pass I throw have to be a contested ball? Yeah. Like, can some of y'all get wide the fuck open? I got questions about their defense. At times, their secondary looks suspect, and their run stop defense looks extremely suspect, which is why for a lot of times they were just right at 500 for most of the season.
Yeah.
So there's been speculation this is going to be a hot seat year for Bill Belichick, and I just
that's going to be my next question.
I can't see that just off the simple fact that before he got there was no Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Now there's 6. Okay. Like maybe you can. I mean, obviously you have to give some of that credit to Tom.
Give a lot of that credit to Tom. A lot of it.
I mean, but he was able to get back to the playoffs with Mac Jones.
It's true.
He's just not seasoned and developed. And how long is Bill going to wait for him to come along, and how long is it going to take for them to get some quality talent at wide receiver for the offense? So if they actually got some decent receivers, they can go to the playoffs. Their defense is just good enough to keep them in ball games. They have to score points. So if you're not scoring points, I don't expect anybody to win.
Yeah, here's my thing with the Patriots. Is like, bro, the AFC is so loaded and crowded. Crowded with talent. This is crazy how good the AFC is gonna. What I think the AFC is gonna be this year. So as much as I hate to say it, I think they missed the playoffs. I think they're the team that ends up missing the playoffs. Like I said, I do like Bill O'Brien in this offensive system. I do like Bill O'Brien and Mac Jones and Juju in this offensive system. They do have that speedster out of Baylor that they drafted last year, Tyquan Thornton, and the little Keyshawn Butte out of LSU. So they do have some weapons out there. It's just a matter of getting. Don't forget the linebacker Hunter Henry is there too. So. They have some pieces, they got some pieces on offense. It's just, are they gonna be able to put that shit together?
There's a saying, don't fact check me. I'm not saying this word for word, but like something to the extent a playoff team is just as good as like 2 to 3 players.
Yeah.
I think this is that situation with the Patriots. They're about 2 or 3 players away from returning all the way around. Particularly maybe in wide receiver.
I said quarterback. I don't think Mac Jones. I don't think Mac Jones is a bad quarterback, but I don't know. I don't have faith in him like I have in some of these other quarterbacks.
Sorry.
You all right? All right.
But
now here's what I want to ask you. Here's my question: if the Patriots don't have a successful year, like a winning season, get to the playoffs, who goes? Belichick or Mac Jones?
Nobody. It's just another year.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, Mac Jones, this is year 4. Or is it 3?
Year 3.
Ah, yeah. Nothing. I can't see Bill Belichick getting fired. I can't see it. It wouldn't surprise me if it happened. But I can't see it. That's like firing Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
You've never heard that.
I can see it simply because we see where the NFL is going and the style that the Patriot way, their style of football is not in style no more.
Josh McDaniels kept them afloat because he watched how the game was changing. Now you can argue those last couple of years, but I don't know. We'll see how good this offensive coordinator is.
We shall see. It's gonna be a long season. Now we get to the team I've been looking forward to talking about the most, and probably the most intriguing team this offseason. The 7-10 New York Jets. Of course, they're going to be the feature team on. They're going to be the feature team on Hard Knocks this season, which I will be watching that week in and week out. But so the key additions for them. Obviously, the biggest one, Aaron Rodgers in a trade from the Green Bay Packers. They get Adrian Amos at safety, he's also from the fucking Packers. They get Randall Cobb from the fucking Packers.
Backup fucking quarterback played on the Packers.
Yeah. They get Alan Lazard from the fucking Packers. They get Billy Turner from the fucking Packers. They get Mecole Hardman from the Chiefs. Quentin Jefferson at defensive tackle, and Tristan Colon on the offensive line. Some key departures: Nate Herbig on the offensive line, Sheldon Rankins at defense on the defensive line, Mike White at QB, Elijah Moore, which he left in a trade into Cleveland, and Braxton Barris, a wide receiver. Now, for this Jets team, there's no other way to put it. I don't care what you say, how you put it. It is Super Bowl or bust for this fucking team. There's no play yet. You're gonna make. I think they're gonna make the playoffs. They got a talented roster, but what you gave up to get Aaron Rodgers, this team damn near made the playoffs last year. Just insert quarterback.
The last 5-6 weeks, Zach Wilson's playing like dog shit.
Yeah.
So much so he got benched.
Like they damn near made the playoffs last year. This team with what the Jets have gone through the last like 10, 15 years of quarterbacks, Mark Sanchez, Sam Darnold, fucking this.
Hey, don't bring up Sam. He got the 2 AFC championship games in a row, brother.
No, Mark. Not Sam. Mark.
Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, no, y'all said Sam Darnold. But either way,
Oh, okay.
he didn't do shit. He got thrown on the back of that defense, not the offense. Got thrown on the back of it. Come on now. We know that's back when Darrelle Revis was locking up every fucking couldn't nobody throw the damn ball on the Jets defense.
Mm-hmm.
You know that. But with what New York has put up with QBs the last like 10, 15 years, with what they have on the offense now, that Garrett Wilson, I'm gonna love watching the Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers connection. I feel like it's gonna be just like what we saw with him and Devontae, because Garrett Wilson is that talented. We saw it with shitty ass Zach Wilson and the other quarterbacks that they had. But this team is Super Bowl or bust.
Oh my god!
It's super. They have to make the Super Bowl. And then with Aaron Rodgers, this is what I don't understand this shit. How the fuck you get another goddamn contract? He got another contract, I think 2 years, $50 million or something like that. Now,
1 year, 35, and he gave it all back. He just gave it all back.
Okay, I didn't see that part.
Yeah, so he could walk into a 3-year, $100 million contract.
Some bullshit. But now I will say, we all know Aaron Rodgers is, he's a little bit older, but I still think he's Aaron Rodgers. You put him around this much talent. I love Garrett Wilson. He got Lazard there. Mecole is there. Mecole is I do love it's another guy that got there.
I like Mecole Hardman.
I do. I like Mecole. I think the Chiefs' offense was just too fucking crowded. And then I think last year he couldn't fucking stay healthy.
Bro, like, did you remember that thing that came out with the list of receivers Tom Brady threw touchdown passes to?
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be that times 20 when Mahomes retire or get to like year 18.
No, seriously.
It's gonna be fucking crazy.
But no, with this Jets team, I think they got the defense. I think they got the defense to compete with everybody in the AFC East, along with everybody in the NFL. I love Sauce Gardner. They have the wide receiver core. You can't tell me no different. I love that wide receiver core. Love Garrett Wilson with Alan Lazard and Mecole, and I think Corey Davis is there. Somebody else is there too. I can't think of his name right now. But if you are the Jets, it's Super Bowl or bust. You can't just make it to the playoffs. You got to at least. You don't even got to. I'm not gonna sit up here and say that they got to win, but they got to make it to the Super Bowl with everything that they've given up.
Is this Aaron trying to do his best Tom Brady impersonation? Because if he wins, he'll forever be remembered, to me at least, as poor man Tom Brady. Poor man's version of Tom Brady. If he wins, but
or a better version of Brett Favre.
Brett Favre got the two wearing a Packers uniform. That's facts. They lost to the Broncos.
Yeah.
But they at least got back. Aaron has been in the AFC Championship game damn near my whole entire adult life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And didn't win except for that one time he got there in high school. Or that first time he got there in high school.
When we was in high school.
Yeah. So, bro, like, I don't know what the fuck. I mean, okay. I almost want to get me an Aaron Rodgers jersey. That number 8 is gonna look nice. But I mean, I've always said it. I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan. I fuck with Aaron.
I like Aaron.
He had me watching the Packers, and it's not gonna stop me watching the Packers because I think Mr. Jordan Love is going to do something. Maybe not this year, but he's gonna do something. But like, they already putting pressure on Jordan Love. He has to make the playoffs.
Right.
And the defense is so good with the Jets, and with all the pieces you see on paper on offense. My only question outside of Aaron, how's the offensive line going to be, and how's the running back play going to be?
Yeah, because they do have Brees Hall. Brees Hall will be coming back, I think, from an ACL tear or something like that. So I do like that little rookie they got out of Pittsburgh, Israel from Pitt, Israel Abenaconda, because he was a huge.
He was 24.
Yeah, like he was a big play guy last year. Every time
Wait. No, he was number 3, wasn't he?
I think number three.
He was
Number
like
three.
he was like a running back wide receiver combo because
Yeah.
they go to him go out flat. I'm like, whoa.
Every time you saw Pitt highlights,
Bro,
you saw this little motherfucker running down the field.
bro, what was that game on Thursday, bro? It was a Thursday night game. I think it was the first. It was like the first primetime game of the
Yeah, it was
season.
the first. Yeah,
It was Pitt. I want to say who's Pitt's rival? Is it Georgia Tech? No, because it was West Virginia.
Yeah, I was getting ready to look it up.
Dog, that fucking game was
wild.
crazy.
It was wild. It was wild.
And then number 3 for Pitt kept going the fuck off.
Yeah.
I'm like, who's this guy? Who you? But yeah, I mean, wow. I mean, Aaron, just get to the Super Bowl this year, man. You might have to beat Mahomes. You were smart enough not to go to the same division as him, but you also might have to play the Bills to get there.
Like with the Jets, like what do you expect? Like, what's your ceiling for this team this year? You think they make the playoffs? You think they make the Super Bowl? And what you think happens with this team?
I think I'm gonna get ahead of myself. I think they can make it. It's possible they can make it to the Super Bowl. I have them making the playoffs. It's just about the matchups, who they match up against, and things of that nature. So I think that goes without being said. I think they can do something special within the next 3 years.
I agree. I definitely think they're gonna do something special. It's all dependent on the quarterback, and I think Aaron Rodgers is probably in the quarter, talent wise on the offense, probably the best he's ever. He's set up good. He said, "You don't capitalize on this, fuck you, flat the fuck out." And I love Aaron Rodgers, but bro, you don't capitalize on this, fuck you. Now, whenever if and when y'all play my Steelers, it's fuck you. But I do love Aaron Rodgers, and I hope to see him succeed. But only time will tell. We'll see. We will find out.
We'll see what Kenny does if he gets killed.
Now, before we leave, we got to talk about what the fuck happened last weekend with Terrence Crawford. We all saw it. And me and Ryan called it. He was off by a round, but Ryan called it. But like, what did you make of Terrence Crawford's performance?
Man, when he dropped him in the second, I was like, I didn't think Bud was gonna get busy to the third. Like, really? But nigga, when he threw that first jab, I was like, oh shit, man, that wasn't no, I'm trying to see how you react to it. That was a here you go in your fucking face jab with Terrence threw at Spence. So that was like, wow. And then, Spence came with the flurry, and my man's weathered it, but like he pretty much had a Errol Spence performance on Errol Spence. That was pretty much what that fight was. I mean, like, he completely dominated him, but like, listen, him getting up all them times, him coming back to fight for more all them times, like, he was willing to get killed in that ring to become undisputed champion. So hats off to Errol Spence. It's a whole bunch of speculation and reports and things of this nature that I'm reading. If what I did read is true, I hope you have a speedy recovery and hope you heal properly and that you're able to come back and compete at a high level. But if not, I mean, he did have a great career, but Terrence Bud Crawford is an all-time great. He's an all-time great at that weight class. To be able to hold those belts like everybody else that did it, they can call themselves undisputed champion. I mean, hats off to you, brother. Hats off. He did his thing, man. I mean, we didn't see the walkout, but I didn't know he came out to Eminem. If I would have saw that, that would have completely changed my mood. I did notice something different in Earl before even the first bell rang. He looked a little off. He looked kind of dehydrated, but that doesn't take away from the performance that Bud
But
had.
put on. Mm-hmm.
How'd you feel about it?
It was absolute masterclass by Terrence Crawford. I mean, we've said it and time again that we think Bud punches a lot harder. I mean, you can make the argument that he was, Errol Spence was drained, blah 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 blah, but he took. I mean, he's fought at 147 before, so I'm not using that excuse. I really wish they would stop using that excuse about, oh well, like I saw something on Twitter. Well, he has residual effects from his car accident. Stop that shit. Stop that shit. Because he's fought 2 or 3 times since his accident.
I've never seen niggas, but he ain't never got stuck in his face as his
ass. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We ain't seen him get hit. We ain't seen him get hit like that very many times.
I've never seen the nigga's face. This nigga was looking Cherokee Indian in there.
Yeah, and for all y'all talking about Bud getting ready for orbital fracture, I'm not so sure he didn't fracture fucking Errol Spence's orbital. But
he fractured that motherfucker's confidence, his pride, nigga.
Yeah,
but fractured that motherfucker went in there and got the shit beat out of him, man.
I think you can kind of see
after the fourth, it was pretty much over with.
You can kind of see it on Errol Spence's face when he got knocked out. He's like, "Damn, man! Like this really just fucking happened." And I know Pops was like, "Oh, he slipped." Like, no, he got dropped. It was a stiff ass. It was
he got hit right there.
It was a stiff ass punch. But it was just, I kind of felt bad for Spence. I mean, the fact that he was, constantly getting up fighting, he got a lot of heart. He's a hell of a fighter, but I kind of felt bad for him going out there taking a beating like that. Hell, Terrence Crawford looked like he could take a fight the next night. I didn't see him eat. I didn't see him, like, as the fight went on, I didn't see him eat a whole lot of punches.
After the fourth round, like, Errol would get there, but if he wasn't hitting him with no conviction, like nothing serious, it was just for points. No, it didn't hurt him. It looked like nothing he threw at him really hurt him after that first initial knockdown. And then was that the 7th or 8th round? It was the 8th round. He knocked him down twice. And it was just like, oh fuck.
I will say I give Errol Spence props for not making excuses. Like he said he was like, I'm not gonna make no, I took this, I knew what I was getting myself into. I took this fight. And it just wasn't my night. Like Bud was the better man tonight. It wasn't no, well, if this would have happened and would this happen, like, no, I took the fight, I lost. It is what it is. And even Bud said, like, I've been hearing this shit for too long. Like, oh, well, he was gonna be drained because it's a 147. And he's still feeling this and that from his accident.
He fights at 154.
I think the next fight is going to be at 154.
Where does Errol Spence fight at?
I think 145, 147, something like that. So, I mean, they've both fought at that weight before, and I mean, even Bud.
That's why I didn't get. I'm sorry, but that's why I didn't get why motherfuckers were saying that. Oh, weight cut. Because like if you look at it, they had a comparison. His first fight at 147. And then the weigh-in for this fight. That motherfucker, first of all, he was a lot bigger. He had more muscle mass. Second of all, only thing I will say, he did look kind of sick.
He did. He looked a little drained. I give him that.
He did look kind of sick. But like you fought at 147 so many times before, I guess if you stay close to around the weight, like for example, Izzy. I feel like Izzy, all he gains is maybe 5 to 15 pounds.
He don't have a whole lot of body fat though.
Right. So he's probably cutting that first 3 weeks of camp. Yep. He's probably right at 180, 184 the whole camp. So that's just an example. But I mean, hats off to Errol Spence, hats off to Crawford. It was an amazing fight. Now, just for shits and giggles, I look forward for this weekend, Nate versus Logan Paul. Can't wait to see that one.
I look forward to it, but at the same time, I don't, because it's like I hate this Jake Paul motherfucker. I can't stand this dude. He reminds me of them kids that we had in high school that just always used to terrorize everybody, and they go run and hide behind the fucking teacher.
No, that just reminds me of a motherfucker who keep running their mouth. And then some shit finally pop off, and then they can't go hide or use.
Like I didn't like all the shit that went on like during the press conference. There was like he saw like when they got up, well, because they had a press conference Nate pretty much got up and walked off. Like, I'm not dealing with this shit. Then, like, at the weigh-ins and the face-off, their security got into it. And I feel like that was Jake Paul telling, like, he saw that the press conference didn't go the way he wanted to. So, hey, security.
No. Remember that fight? He's supposed to fight dude with dreads.
Yeah.
Then at Magic, he got canceled. He's finna beat the shit out of you. That was a boxer.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't an MMA fighter going to boxing. The only reason why I somewhat have confidence is Nate don't really throw kicks like that.
No.
He throw punches. So it's like, Nate, please beat his ass.
Don't just beat the fuck out this beat the fuck out of him.
Beat the shit out this motherfucker, man. And beat his ass so bad to where he contemplates retirement or he's done fighting. Whoop his ass the whole fucking fight.
The entire fight. Please do. We did everybody, the black community, the MMA community, we need this. Get it, beat it, just don't go in there
black and brown.
Don't go in there toy with him. Just beat him the fuck up. Plain and simple.
Stupid.
Now, I don't know about you, bro, but I'm getting a little tired, so I'm gonna have to cut this one short, man. But as always, we thank y'all for tuning in. Go like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about us, comment. We need the constructive criticism. Football season is here, so make sure y'all tune in week in, week out. We're gonna try our best to give y'all our weekly breakdowns, predictions, and just keep y'all updated on everything that goes on throughout the course of the season, man. And as always, Ryan, I love you, brother. You make sure you stay safe out here, man.
You too, brother.
Until next week.
Yes, excellent.